All right, I'm Eric Wiglars, along with the rest of the Lyndon State freshman class of 2016 here in the Weather Center, and we are tracking what's left of Tropical Storm Isaac as it moves over the southeastern part of Louisiana northward. Basically, you're looking at the radar right now, and what's left of Isaac. You see some tornado warnings popping up, a lot of flash flood warnings, and a lot to talk about, so I'll hand it over to the rest of my colleagues here.
Currently at the core we have 60-mile-per-hour winds in what's left of what you can't even see of an eye anymore. We have multiple supercell thunderstorms making their way on land. It looks like a lot of mesocyclones popping up too. If you are currently in an area with a tornado warning, please seek shelter immediately. Take this seriously because you may not be able to see the tornadoes. Do not count on lightning helping you be able to make out these tornadoes, as they could easily be rain-wrapped. I'll hand this over now to Andrew.
So as you can see, these storm reports are coming in, and then there's a lot of flash flooding, especially in the northern part of this tropical storm. And then the center of it's right around this area right here. It's not really defined anymore, but you still can get the rain bands from the south. And then the rain bands generally moving around 50 miles per hour. So if you get a tornado, you won't be able to see it, and it's going to move too quickly for you. So as soon as you get a tornado warning, like he said, get down in your basement and don't.
If it's not, if your basement's flooding, go to a place in your house where it's closed off from any windows, or in the center part of the house.
Closet, bathroom, no windows.
No windows.
Keep away from windows, especially any of these storms. You see thunder, lightning, and again strong winds.
If you can, also keep a mattress over your head or something soft to prevent from possible falling debris. And at any time.
After it's done, report all the damage to 911, and then I'll report the National Weather Service so we can see what happened.
We've had unofficial rainfall total so far of 18.35 from Gretna, Louisiana, which is in metropolitan New Orleans. And again, this is on the southeastern part of Louisiana and on the eastern side of Isaac as it made landfall. So a lot of rain, as you can see from these bands, as they still rush ashore. So more rain to come this evening into tomorrow morning as Isaac moves northward.
Especially New Orleans, you are not done yet. You are not out of the water. So please do not think the storm is over if you see the rain lightening up. I mean, you still have a lot of storm to go. This is probably going to, be still raining tomorrow morning. Although I would say by tomorrow night, you should likely start seeing the end of the rain.
All right, we're going to switch over to a different mode. We're switching over to base velocity. And the base velocity in this tornado warning, there's a lot of broad rotation in it, which means the rotation is not very tight. But when you get broad rotation, that means that the rotation's up in the clouds, and then once it comes up here, it can get a lot more tight. So even though you don't really see that much of a tight coupler right there, it's still able to produce a tornado because it's broad.
And when we mean by a tight coupler, you see those reds and those greens in the radar. So when the red and the green come together, and you even have those brighter reds and the greens, that means the rotation is definitely being picked up by radar. And some of it, again, as he's mentioned before, is being up in the sky. However, it can reach the ground and spawn a tornado at any point of the duration during the tornado warning.
And please remember that the rotation will be continuing throughout the night, because as one tornado warning may expire, the storms are obviously not over yet. This is a slow-moving system and will not be over until the wee hours of the morning.
Stay tuned to Weather Band Radio for the 11 o'clock advisory on Isaac as it continues to impact your area.
Stay safe, everyone.
Back to Dr. Phil.
Here's the
This is going to be absolutely
Here are the echo tops. Shut up. Here are the echo tops of the thunderstorms coming up on shore. There's some isolated, very high echo tops with these isolated supercells that are coming on. Echo tops are basically the tops of the clouds right here.
If I'm not mistaken, you can see some of those reds and those greens flashing up. Those are, if I'm not mistaken, rotation coming on
those
shore.
Those are mesos, yeah.
Mesos, yeah.
Mesocyclones.
Yeah.
So again, strong rotation.
And then there's basically absolutely no vertical integrated liquid, which means hail in the storm. Yeah, because you don't get hail from hurricanes. It's really rare. Warm air aloft. And then here are the rain totals.
You can see a huge area of gray, which we're only able to detect up to 5 inches, but in these areas, if we could show more, you'd likely see a lot of 12, even as much as, I'd say, 16, 17-inch rain amounts, and these are going to definitely increase over the night. I'd say for the greater area here that's in this gray spot, you're likely going to pick up about 4 or 5 more inches of rain before all is said and done.
And not to take away from the rain part, but again, if we go to storm surge has been a huge factor from the storm. Parts of Mississippi and even into New Orleans, Louisiana have been getting anywhere from 7 to 12 feet, depending on where you are. And again, especially on the northeastern part of the storm, the quadrants, that would be your highest risk for storm surge as it goes on through the night into tomorrow morning.
we actually recorded a 7-foot storm surge in Waveland that still is keep going. And what storm surge really is, it's a massive dome of water that just sort of rushes on shore that's being sucked up by this hurricane. So storm surge is not something that necessarily just occurs on landfall. It's most intense at landfall, but doesn't mean you're done once it moves on shore. You can still get this throughout the night.
That will add to basically the additional rainfall you're getting on shore. So you might be getting 18 inches of rain and another 7 feet of water to that storm surge, and suddenly your house is overwhelmed with flooding.
Which is why we have these flash flood warnings posted. It's not just for the rain totals. It's also because of the water coming inshore.
As you see, these storms are off the coast right now. I would not be surprised if they get tornado warning as soon as they hit the coast. They are showing signs of mesocyclones, which means there's possible rotation in the thunderstorm. So as they reach the shore, it's very possible that they will have tornado warnings with them.
And be advised, as the storm dissipates, supercell storms can still appear and more rotation can continue. So even north of where the current tornado advisories are, be advised that to keep your storm radio on in the event that
A warning is issued.
Yeah, correct.
What else? I mean, there's a lot of moisture coming up from the Gulf. I mean, this thing is not done at all. And you just see all of the moisture basically rushing forward, whether it's in the form of the the rain bands. You have wind, tornadoes, and basically again, just there's more rain coming tonight from this thing. So if you're in your house, you're not flooded out yet, or you're getting pretty close to it, just keep an eye on it. Flash floods can occur within minutes. And if you're driving outside, you come across a flash flood, it takes only 1 foot of water to sweep basically your vehicle off the roadway. So don't attempt to cross waters, especially in a storm like this. You'll get easily carried away.
Even if you see, a road that you think is possibly just has a little bit of water on it, there could be no road under the car, and you could suddenly find yourself being swept down a river. So that is why we tell you not to go in, a foot of water or less, because it can just take your car down a river, and suddenly you're stranded, and you may be able to find yourself in a very tight situation.
And unless there's an emergency, there's no excuse to be on the road unless someone's injured or something.
Or you need to get out of your home.
Stay in your house in an interior room until everything's finished with.
All right. We'll post more updates as the storm continues to move onshore. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, everybody.
Peace out.